Dr. Suzanne Chad, political science professor at North Central College, joins us live with what's next for the former president. And welcome. I believe if I got my dates correct, the next thing that's going to happen is the arraignment in September, but it's going to be unusual because it could possibly be televised. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, Georgia, this case has been a little different than the others, where in other states, the booking and the arraignment happen at the same time. But in Georgia, they separate these things. So, and they're allowed to have cameras in the courtroom. Whether they will make the decision to have the cameras because of the spectacle and because of potential protests and backlash and so forth remains to be seen. But it's also possible that the judge will allow him to do the arraignment virtually. So it's possible that former President Trump won't actually be in the courtroom that day. But that will be the next time that we will see him appear in some form for this case before it continues to move along.
Professor, this was Trump's fourth felony arrest, his second on election interference. But this was the first time we saw a mugshot. Did this one for you hit different? And what did you think of the expression that Trump was trying to communicate to the whole world in that mugshot?
Yeah, you know, there is something very visceral and tangible about the fact that a former president now has been arrested and there is a mugshot and he has a prison, an inmate number. There is something, again, tangible about that. And the visual itself, we were sort of all waiting to see what it would look like. And I don't think any of us expected a smile or maybe the bravado he typically leads with, because he's really trying to frame this as this is a defiant moment and a defining moment in our history where they're not going to take me down. I will not succumb to the witch hunt. So there's sort of a strong, defiant face that he's making. And it lines up with the language he's been using on the tarmac and then since then.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said that with that mugshot, he has won the president for 2024. I'm not sure about that, but I mean, it really has had, in many ways, a positive impact as far as Republicans go.
It's been very interesting to see how this played out. It was at the center of the discussion of the Republican primary debate earlier in the week. I'm back in the semester now. It was at the center of the discussion with my students today that, you know, we've thought that over time, as these cases have built, that there was the potential that something would sort of crack this very calcified support that he has. And at this point, that doesn't seem to be happening. Now, a lot can happen between now and November of 2024. But as of the day after, it doesn't really seem like much has changed. And if anything, it's had a potentially positive impact with campaign finance, with fundraising and selling his merchandise.
You do wonder sometimes how Trump actually feels underneath that bravado. Let me ask you, polls show, by and large, that Americans do not want to see a Biden-Trump rematch. Do you think that will keep them away from the polls on Election Day next year? And who do you think that helps?
This is such a great question. We barely made it through the 2020 election of the original match, and to think that we would have to do it again in the next year or so seems a bit overwhelming. And I think what's so interesting is that typically two things happen, two very different things. If we don't like the candidates, then yes, often we stay home. But if we really, really dislike the other candidate, then regardless of who our own candidate might be, we're likely and pushed to go out and vote for them. So if the vitriol against both of those candidates increases, strangely, we may end up seeing a higher turnout. But we're going to have to see. So much happens between now and then.
Few seconds left. So the next debate is September 27th. I have two questions for you. Do you think he'll show up? And do you think it's going to help if he does show up?
You know, it's a great question. And I think that he showed after not going to the first one that he's still very much in the room, even though he's not in the room. He doesn't have to do anything but just be. And so the extra work and the time and the prep and all of that, it actually doesn't really serve his interest for him to show up. And I don't think that affects him detrimentally. I think, in fact, a lot of his supporters think he's above it and doesn't need to be there. Now, if he does show up, it'll be fascinating to see what kinds of questions he might get. But the likelihood, I think, at the next debate that he shows up is probably at this point pretty small.
What a time to be a political science professor. Dr. Suzanne Chad, always great to catch up with you. Thanks for your insight tonight.
Thank you so much. Good to see you both.
Okay.